there's no reason to keep things around in your life that stress you out that you can get rid of. Now, some things in life that stress you out, you can't get rid of.
Right. Like, for example, we didn't know when we bought this home, we didn't know that our lawyer didn't receive our...
No. Okay.
This was another stressor.
So we get this home. We write a check for the insurance for the year. Well, the lawyer decides to send the check to the wrong insurance company. So the insurance company that's expecting the check
never gets it.
So for 60 days in the middle of Hurricane Dorian, we don't even have insurance.
It was full. I can't even. I'm just so like flabbergasted. It was full blown hurricane season. Full blown.
No, like we signed the papers and 2 days later the Dorian came.
Yeah. This was wild, I'm telling you.
And saying luckily
you can't even make this up.
And luckily, Dorian was a milder hurricane and did not damage our home. But
look, we were also stressed out because we were going to keep our other apartment in Newport, which is about 20 minutes away, and we were going to renovate this home and live in that apartment. But we were like, we can't do this. Like, we got to move in because our stuff we didn't have insurance at the apartment. We did not pay. We don't have that much.
If the stuff got destroyed at the apartment,
it wasn't going to be covered. Because we don't have insurance. But technically, we brought it here and it wasn't covered either because we didn't have insurance because they never received the check. But regardless, thank God everything was great. Like, there was no damage to our property.
But this is why Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to come save the day, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was stressed. I was stressed. But when we found out that our lawyer didn't send that check, because I had just signed, I just got this house, I just committed to a mortgage. I was so drained emotionally from just signing paperwork and just knowing that now I had this, mortgage over my head or whatever. Because people who don't know me, I like to move. So I move, I don't stay in an area longer than 2 years. It's been a habit of mine. So we've been here 6. So I'm like, I can't commit to a house. I don't want to live here forever. I don't know if I just want to up and move one day.
Just the idea is stressful to you.
It was just the idea. So I was so numb to the fact that they never received my check. And I was so lucky that I had such a great partner. He was just like, he took the stress. You actually took the stress on you. Mm-hmm. We got into the car 5 minutes before that office closed. We were there in 4 minutes to downtown Morehead City. Busted up in that shop, in that place.
In the lawyer's office.
In the lawyer's office, I'm sorry. And then basically Nate just handled business.
I made sure that they knew that if it's something that happened to our house,
they're liable for it.
They were going to be liable for it.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? They moved pretty quickly to get our stuff taken care of.
Yeah,
the
next day we had insurance.
Mm-hmm. So. But look, sometimes you got to be like that in order to get what you want too. You should have already had it.
It was literally just over and over and over again. Professionals that were supposed to be professional people not knowing what they're doing.
Right. So that's why you definitely.
Which is why Meredith is really waiting for artificial intelligence. She wants that stuff to be here today.
You know what? I'm not scared of no iRobot situation. I'm going to be nice to the robots just like I'm nice to people. Yeah. They're not going to want to take over and hurt me.
But
anyways, that was a very stressful situation. So my reaction to that was to be numb. I was numb. And I was so lucky, like I said, that his instinct took over and kicked in, and basically he was being me, taking my emotion and carrying it out and delivering it to them basically.
But yeah, we definitely we weren't planning on living in the house while we were renovating it.
That was stressful too. Because I was here all day.
But we ended up doing that, so we moved everything in. We went room to room. It probably made the renovations last a lot longer, but
it was about 6 months.
Yeah, so it took us about 6 months to renovate the whole house.
By ourselves.
And
your dad helped us with the floor.
Oh, yeah.
And, they paint a little bit, and we are very grateful for that. But we primarily did everything on our own. Yeah. But that, like I said, I was very stressed out living in a construction zone. And on top of that, we were eating bad because we didn't feel comfortable eating here because we had dust everywhere from, sanding the ceilings and redoing the ceilings to make them flat instead of, getting rid of the popcorn or whatever. That was stressful. And then you're adding, bad food because we were going out to eat on top of that, that put a lot of stress on our bodies.
So would you say that's some of the stuff that a lot of people do for stress relief?
Eat, yeah.
Use food for stress relief?
Oh, for sure.
Alcohol for stress relief?
Mm-hmm.
Other illicit drugs?
Not me, but... Mm-hmm.
For stress relief?
Yeah. Other people. I mean...
So those habits, those are habit forming mechanisms for stress relief. And over time, so they cannot be a problem at the beginning, but over time they eventually grow into being a problem.
Right.
Right. So, you want to have stress relieving habits that are positives in your life, and try to eliminate the stress relieving habits that are negatives in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going to eat a piece of candy, you go on a walk.
Yeah.
Instead of drinking a beer, you do yoga.
And drink some water.
And drink some fruit infused water.
Okay, fancy. Yeah.
I'll take that fake sweet tea.
You cut back on that too.
Nah.
But I mean...
Because everything in your life is a habit, right? It's, you sit down and watch TV because the TV's in front of you. It's a habit.
Mm-hmm. You've given up a lot of bad habits.
I have, yeah. So I smoked cigarettes for around 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Drink alcohol occasionally.
I mean, I was drinking alcohol every day.
In college.
But... Yeah. Sometimes in life, you have to figure out how to get rid of those bad habits. So you start one at a time.
Or in your case, cut it all out completely.
Yeah.
You cut it all out at the same time.
Well, what was happening was I was doing good trying to get rid of the smoking, and then I go drink on a Friday night, smoking come right back. So ended up just having to get rid of both of them out of my life. Right?
Do you feel a lot
But then
better?
so I put that into something else that was negative, which was food, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you already had a problem with food anyways.
Yeah.
Before drinking and smoking up.
But I mean, it was like 100x.
Yeah.
100 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had those things that negate your food cravings, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Right.
Like immediately. Mm-hmm. So it went from 260 to 302 like almost immediately. Like pretty fast.
Yeah, because you had that. Do you think you had like an oral fixation though? Like you had something in your mouth and
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean
so
that's what a cigarette is.
Yeah,
right?
You just replaced it with food. So the smoking and the drinking just got replaced with food.
Yeah.
On top of food. But do you feel better from giving up smoking and drinking, even though you're still struggling with the food aspect?
Yeah.
You feel a lot better?
Oh yeah.